LSU, 2.5-point favorites, going to Fayetteville, Arkansas, 7 Eastern, ESPN Razorbacks Stadium. This is fascinating for me, for both sides of this. Arkansas coming off a bye, but a huge win over Tennessee the week before. LSU coming off of a massive win over Ole Miss in Baton Rouge. We talk about the emotional gas tank, the competitive gas tank. Where are both these teams at? For Arkansas, did you hit the reset button over the bye week, or did you enjoy everyone telling you how good you were and how great it was you beat Tennessee to where you roll out a little bit lackadaisical against LSU? For LSU, great win at home. I mean, Death Valley stormed the field. That was massive. However, we've seen many a team have a big win, then have a big letdown, and lose a game they're not supposed to lose. Vegas is telling you LSU should win this football game by 2.5 points. College football sickos, we appreciate you for being subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel. This show, The Hard Count, is brought to you by our friends over at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is daily fantasy, made easy to play, easy to withdraw what you win. We have been dominating so far this college football season. Use code HARDCOUNT, $5 on lineups played. Win or lose, gets you $50 in promo funds. So again, we appreciate you. If you haven't yet subscribed, now is the time. If you haven't yet used that code, now is the time. Now back to the prediction. Arkansas might be the best 4-2 team in America right now. They have a certain ain't no telling factor to them, in my opinion. The defense, you have questions about them. There's no way around it, but they've been massively opportunistic. And then Taylor Green, I am going to go ahead and assume he plays in this football game. That is what the tea leaves are kind of pointing towards, if you will, when it comes to his status for this game. He is good enough, I think, paired with that defense, to make any game interesting the rest of the way on their schedule, this game included. For LSU, they have proven now a couple of things. They are a gritty football team, and they trust their quarterback. We've seen them now in multiple spots bounce back, fight hard from a deficit, and find a way to win the football game. South Carolina on the road, they're down, find a way to come back. Ole Miss last week at home, fight, force overtime, find a way to come back. And they believe in Garrett Nussmeier, like I just said. They threw the ball over 50 times against Ole Miss. The most important play that I saw was outside of the game-winning touchdown, where they also, surprise, surprise, said, Nuss, throw it to Lacey, touchdown, okay, game blouses. But the play to force overtime, 4th and 5, I've said this now multiple times, they have a chance for Ole Miss to win the football game on that play. You turn it over, take a knee, get out of there. 4th and 5, what do you call? Slants, hitches to the sticks. No, you call verts because you want your gumbo gunslinger to sling it. He does, throws a touchdown, tie game, you go to overtime, you win the football game. So what are the keys in this football game? What's the thing we're watching here most closely? Again, I'm assuming Taylor Green is ready to go. How does LSU play him when it comes to what he does with his legs? That's what we need to talk about here, because as good as LSU was last week, getting after Jackson Dart, stacking him multiple times, even with the loss of yards he had factored into him running the football, he still had 27 yards on the ground. I don't know how the sack stats shake out necessarily, but I have to believe if you subtract the sacks from that, he probably had something closer to the range of 35, 40 yards. Like, they did some damage on the ground with the quarterback. Taylor Green is a much more dynamic athlete than Jackson Dart is. He's also, I think, a much more dynamic athlete than Lawrence Sellers is. Lawrence Sellers, now he can go. But Taylor Green can really hurt you if you don't play the design quarterback run effectively and the ad-lib plays effectively. Because Taylor Green, yes, he hurts you on the design quarterback run, but I think where Arkansas has really thrived this year is those second play explosives. You rush the passer, you have it dialed up, you think you're getting home, he steps aside, scrambles left, throws right, touchdown. Ask A&M about that, even though A&M won that football game. Ask LSU about that, even though, or not LSU, ask Auburn about that. Other Tigers got them all crisscrossed. And Arkansas did win that football game, in large part because of plays like that. So can Arkansas have enough plays outside of the ad-lib plays to be able to make those the maximizer and the edge for them in this football game? Because LSU, I think, has a chance now to rush the passer at a high level. But again, if you don't get home, you get to that second play, things get very, very intriguing. I think for Arkansas in this football game, the question offensively isn't even just can you have explosives. I think it's also can you play the same style that you did against Tennessee offensively. Because in that game now, as good as your defense played, and they played phenomenal, a big reason why they played well is they were off the field quite a bit. I mean, Arkansas won the Tennessee game with a time of possession of 35 minutes. I think you'd like to have a similar number against LSU. Because as good as your defense has played at times, I think they're also pretty gettable. And LSU, I think, on the perimeter has a lot of weapons that you don't want to have extra time on the field to try and hurt you. All right? I like this matchup for LSU's offense. I really do. I think Arkansas's secondary, their numbers are a little bit skewed because they have that, 700 interception game on their resume against Auburn. But I think matchup-wise, I like Kyron Lacey. I like Anderson. I like a lot of the playmakers for LSU to go win. I like Garrett Nussmeier now to go deal the pill. Arkansas is allowing 230-plus yards a game through the air. It's not great. It's not great. I don't know that it cuts it in this game. So can you get to Garrett Nussmeier and affect him? More importantly, can you keep your offense on the field, even if you're not having explosive after explosive, to be able to make that LSU offense that's really potent have to watch? So the first game, I think, is a bit of a punchline for LSU early on in the year. Like the Florida State game last year, the USC game this year, everyone just says, oh, man, Brian Kelly, is he the right guy? LSU this, LSU that, they're not that good. And then every year, it seems like, as unfortunate as the start is, they eventually, right around this time, start to round into form, start to look like a Brian Kelly coached football team, start to play their best football, and you're like, okay, LSU could be a problem here. I think this game has huge entertainment value. I think when you look at Taylor Green and the question marks around his health, that's a little bit too rich for me to take Arkansas. The spot makes me very worried for LSU. Again, 2.5 points going on the road after a massively emotional win, but I think they handle it well. I think that the quantity of weapons for LSU on the perimeter is a difference. I think that the front seven and the way they have started to play now the last couple of weeks, most notably the Ole Miss game, is the difference. I think LSU wins the football game. I think they cover. I think that they end up ultimately obviously winning if they're going to cover with that 2.5 point spread. We will take LSU to win this football game. I'll take them 31-21 in Fayetteville.